Hello chess friends and welcome to Yazarov Chess channel and welcome back to the Speedchess Championship in 2024 that you can follow of course on chess.com. We have here again a very tense battle for the third place. We have now the epic match between Hikaru Nakamura and Moke Niemann. So yesterday Hikaru lost his match against Alireza Firouzja in the semifinals. Also Hans got really destroyed by Magnus Carlsen in the epic semifinals in the match that everyone was waiting for. And today again a very tense match because we know that the relations between Hikaru Nakamura and Moke Niemann are not so great because of the drama that happened last year. And for the neutral chess lover, I think this should have been maybe a very interesting match to follow, but unfortunately for the neutral chess lover, it hasn't been really an epic match because here Moke Niemann in his match against Hikaru Nakamura got simply destroyed. After 30 games they played, Hikaru Nakamura gained 21 points and Moke Niemann gained only 9 points. So pure destruction here by Hikaru Nakamura. Hikaru played really awesome chess today. And I've sorted out now one game that simply explains the whole match, I would say, between Hikaru and Hans. In which the game is so one-sided. The whole match was so one-sided. In one moment, Moke Niemann connected 2 wins, but nothing more. Hikaru again got back into the game and, as I said, deserved now his very important third place of the Speedchess Championship in 2024. So let's see now one game that I think, as I said, simply explained the differences between Hikaru Nakamura and Moke Niemann. So here in the first game, Hikaru opened with move knight to f3. We have d5, g3, the King's Indian attack by Hikaru, knight to f3, bishop to g2, e6, and now we have after move c4 simply this common attack, and now after bishop to e7 we have again the Neo-Catalan declined here by Moke Niemann. I've explained it also in our previous analysis in which here Moke Niemann is not playing this common d4 move. That's very I think progressive for black to play in these types of positions when white is avoiding to play the Catalan without playing the move d4 in the first place. Then you can immediately, I've mentioned many times, you can play d4. It's not like this line that I'm suggesting you is so much better or something. It's just like I think that Hikaru Nakamura noticed also in the games between Magnus and Moke Niemann that Hans has really tough time to battle against these types of setups, that he's not really familiar maybe with so much with the concepts of this particular position. So here Hikaru applied basically Magnus Carlsen method in order to destroy Niemann. Hans continued with the bishop to e7, which is, as I said, still perfectly fine, but I still kind of like more this d4 approach with c5 and then maybe knight to c6, e5, then you're getting also some spaces in the center of the board. Castling by Hikaru, castling by Hans. b3, now playing a certain double fianchetto, and actually these types of positions that we have already, you can also get out of the Nimzo-Larsen attack, and also Hikaru Nakamura changed in some games against Hans today. He played also several times the Nimzo-Larsen attack, the Nimzo-Larsen setups, which, as I said, you can get basically from 2 positions. Now after move b3, here he's trying to play a double fianchetto, and he's waiting still with this move d4. Again, Hans could have played d4, and after something like bishop to b2, you can play c5, and at least you have a space advantage here in the center of the board. But again, here Hans keeps it calm, plays now b6. We have e3 by Hikaru, bishop to b7, queen to e2, knight to d7, knight to c3, and now knight to e4, bishop to b2, knight takes, and bishop takes on c3. Here after knight to f6, d4. So far after knight to e4 and bishop to b2, a pretty equalish game. I'm not saying that here Moke Niemann is worse, but this is a position that basically Hikaru, I think, loves to get more. An equalist position where he can calculate faster, I would say. I think in this faster time formats, Hikaru Nakamura is seeing positions much faster than maybe Hans Moke Niemann. Hans is maybe good when it comes to calculations, when he has time to calculate everything. Now after bishop to b2, a pretty equalish position. So far nothing dramatic is going on. c5 by Hans Niemann, also perfectly fine. d takes c5, bishop to c5, rook to d1, of course placing the rook where already the queen is. If something clears on the d file, the queen couldn't be endangered. Queen to e7 by Hans Niemann. We have c takes d5, and now here Hans takes with bishop to d5. He doesn't want to take, of course, with the pawn. Then you have an isolated d pawn, and then the certain problems come always when white creates some kind of a blocking system here around the square d4, when white keeps the position compact. So that's why Hans takes out now with the bishop. Knight to e5 here by Hikaru. He's noticing now that the bishop is a little bit overloaded to the defense of the knight, and here also there are some problems here, maybe to when the rook is coming here on the 7th rank. And here you can play many things. You can play, I think, from black's perspective, the move f6, which is perfectly fine. You can also play f5, supporting further your knight here on e4, which is in my opinion even the most solid way to proceed. Or you can even play rook from a to c1, rook from a to c8, pardon me, in order to, if maybe the bishops are off the board, in order to keep somehow the c6 protected here. So many options. But what Hans Niemann did was now a huge blunder with queen to b7. Seems tempting, seems really like a normal idea, but because you're simply putting more pressure against his bishop on g2. But now Hikaru Nakamura found really a spectacular idea. If you want to practice some tactics, maybe just for fun, pause the video and try to see now the best continuation here for white. There are many options even here for white, in which white can, I think, easily win the game. But I really liked the most here Hikaru Nakamura's approach. He dominated after a couple more moves and the game was over. So take your time and try to solve now this beautiful middle game puzzle. What would you do now in this particular position? Okay, here Hikaru noticed that the position is simply too overloaded by black. Hikaru played now the beautiful b4. This is the way to go. Let's see now options. For instance, if you don't pick up the pawn, if you retreat, if you play something like bishop to e7, then the issue is bishop to e4, bishop to e4, and see now the queen is lined up on the 7th rank, and now rook to d7 simply wins the piece. Even if you retreat here to d6 instead of bishop to e7, then again bishop to e4, and now after bishop to e4, the bishop is hanging. So now the bishops get lined up here on the d file. What here Hans Moke Niemann did, he took now bishop takes b4, but now look at this, after bishop to e4 and bishop to e4, now the bishops are lined up here on the 4th rank. Here Hikaru plays a beautiful intermediate attack against the queen, disconnects now the queen from the defense of the bishop, queen to c8, and now rook to d4, again attacking both of these pieces. And believe me or not, in this particular position Hans Moke Niemann immediately resigns. So let's see again this beautiful tactic, b4, and whatever you do, the pieces will always get lined up, maybe on the 7th rank, maybe on the 4th rank, and in this case we also saw that there's a possibility that the pieces could be lined up on the d file. Great tactical shot here by Hikaru Nakamura, and this was actually even the first game they played here, and Hikaru Nakamura won very easily. And as I said, it was already a tough situation for Hans Moke Niemann to get back into the match. Hikaru dominated and is now the deserved winner of this consolation match. He is now the 3rd best player in the Speedchess Championship in 2024. So, okay, great game by Hikaru. Don't miss tomorrow the epic super final between Alireza Firuza and Magnus Carlsen. When we watch now the whole, Speedchess Championship, a deserved final, we'll see for sure. Alireza is really in top shape. He's playing the GOAT Magnus Carlsen. It will be an epic again grand final of this amazing chess event for sure. So okay, I hope that you enjoyed this game. I really enjoyed it a lot. Interesting tactics again here by Hikaru Nakamura. If you want to see some other games that we have covered from this event, check out my coverage. Here are some games that we have analyzed before. And if you like this content, hit the subscribe button. See you soon with some more videos. And what do we say in the end? Chess is the best, of course.